It's related to the red horse prophecy in Revelation. It's related to 2 Thessalonians 2 when it says about the day of the Lord, the parousia. That day will not occur until the apocalypse of the Antichrist and the apocalypse of the Antichrist and the apostasia, the word rebellion or revolt. That's all really defined in the prophecy of the red horse. But here's where the term came from and why I used it purposely. When I started dealing with ritually abused individuals, then we dealt with military-oriented, highly trained, programmed shooters and assassins inside of them. When we began to deal with them, I dealt with someone from Fort Bragg for quite a while and a few others. We were sitting in a lake, Conneaut Lake. They reached over and ripped open my shirt to see if I was wired, if I was wiring and recording them. And they were the most sophisticated satanic warrior type person. They knew 5-6 languages. They knew the ancient Twilight languages. They knew how to conjure. They knew how to use Belteshazzar, Okwam, all these old Pictish languages of the Druids to summon. They are the real Luciferian. They've been through many human sacrificial things. So they sat there to tell me some of those things, what they've been involved with, how they sacrifice a human. I'm listening to all this stuff from them. And then they said to me, you have no idea, Russ, how many of us there are out there. How many satanic, they use the term, chosen ones. You have no idea how many. You have no idea what's coming. We smell Christian blood. We are waiting for our day. And when the call is given, millions of us will be released. And they looked at me and said, you believe in revivals and you believe in Pentecost and the power of God. You believe in all that. We believe in the Black Awakening, a multi-continental release of power to activate the program demonized, where they've weaponized the demonic powers to these super soldiers. So some of the oldest, darkest occultists, the idea of chaos first, a collapsing of everything so that a new order can rise, that's all by design. And we've been given the heads up in prophecy, but all prophecy has boots on the ground. It'll all eventually happen. So I do believe that millions and millions of these trained, programmed, altered, demonized super soldiers, whether we want to say it or not, they believe they're being raised to help bring the Antichrist in.
Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and an helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Who shall rouse him up? Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field. And thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Now also many nations are gathered against thee, that say, Let her be defiled, and let our eye look upon Zion. But they know not the thoughts of the Lord, neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as the sheaves into the floor. Arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion. For I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass. And thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth.
Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. Noise in his gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Man, brothers. We are coming into some serious times, man. They have something which is called the Black Awakening, which is these billions of satanic super soldiers that's going to be activated in a time of martial law, in a time of crisis, of Jacob's trouble. Now, you got to understand, this is why the Lord said himself, he said that day, unless for the elect's sake, that day should be cut short. Because when they deploy these particular soldiers and these drones and these bots to the streets of Babylon and different of these particular countries where you Israelites dwell, there's not going to be any mercy there's not going to be no mercy for you Jakes, man. Okay, like out there in, well, I think it's, is it San Francisco or Oakland? One of those cities. I forgot which one in particular. But basically what happens is they have approved of using these particular computer or these particular robots to go in to exert brute force upon you tribes, man, if you don't comply with the police officers. Now, the experiment thing, they put a halt to it for now because they got a lot of backlash from it. But regardless, they already got the algorithms and the AI in place, man. Okay? The AI, this whole new artificial intelligence, is going to be on a whole different level, man. It's going to be beyond what we've ever seen before. And this is the reason why Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai has to give his men power. Okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He has to give us power, because if not, we ain't going to be able to stand against something like a super soldier or some type of, you watch the movie iRobot, or, you know, you got Universal Soldier. You got a movie like Captain America. Hey, look, that type of ability, can't no human stand toe-to-toe with that. So what are we going to do in that day? Like Edra said, woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? The Lord is going to give us power, and it's going to come with the believing of faith, because the scriptures say if you have faith as a mustard seed, then you should tell a mountain to move yonder, and you should move mountains. You should move mountains. You know, you have the faith of a mustard seed, then you can cast mountains. You can move mountains, man. Okay, and mountains meaning actual mountains, government summits. Okay, huge objects, things that seems to be an obstacle of oppressive things or oppressive tactics. We're going to be able to deal with these things in the spirit, but it's going to all come with a thought. Like, that's one thing about how you know we have the power. Jake, we have very vivid imaginations, man. You know, and I can look at something and picture in my mind, and I can throw it with my mind. Now, does it physically move? No, it doesn't. But the fact that I can visualize it and see it in my mind, is going to come a time that the Lord is going to unlock that potential. And, hey, you're going to think it and it's going to happen. You're going to think, look, fly, it's going to happen. You're going to think, look, raise the dead, is going to happen. It's not going to come because it's not going to be like some type of tutorial to it. The Lord is going to unlock something that's already in us. And if that wasn't the case, why do you think they're making super soldiers like this? Like, word came out earlier this year that they had some type of super soldier serum out there in the Ukraine. You know, soldiers was getting shot down and getting back up. You know, like, what the hell is going on out here? So they're going to deploy these particular drones to these neighborhoods, man, mainly your inner cities, because the inner cities where you jakes are at, it's without protection. That's why the scriptures say that the gates are you have no refuge in your gates, because for one thing, all the men are gone, the women are single, the children are with the women, you have no protection. So that's the first place they're going to touch you down. And of course, those Edomite opposes this system, they're going to come after them too, and they're going to get totally decimated. But they want our people, because remember what he just said. He said, man, we smell Christian blood. We can't wait for that day. We smell the smell of Christian blood. When you go into the Bible, and I was reading yesterday through the study Bible, when you go into the word Christians, that's talking about the Israelites. And mainly when you go into the church of Corinth, okay, a lot of times those Israelites were considered Christians, but those were actual Israelites, man. So when you see the word Christian in the Bible, which I think it only appears 2 times, if I'm not mistaken, Slack if I'm off on that. But if you look it up, it goes into the children of Israel, because we're the real anointed. Okay, because the word Christian goes back into Mashiachian, which means the anointed ones. Okay, Christ just means anointed, Mashiach. That's all it means. You see, it's not some type of religion that you kikiing and boo-booing and flipping and foaming and all that other shit. You got Granny Ellen with the big flower hat on, with the handkerchief, with the usher jacket. No, that ain't what it's talking about. All right, but he said, look, we await the smell of Christian blood, meaning you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you were the real Christians, man. Okay, so they got a hit out on us, man. All right, and Esau, hey, when they said that this devil's gonna come down with great wrath, that's exactly what it means. So let's get that real quick, because you know, you Jakes, man, you think that the Most High is playing games. This is the wrath of the Lord that's going to come upon the people of you tribes, man, because you didn't take heed to the voice of the prophets. You chose to do what you wanted to do and live your lives according to the way that Esau said. Okay, you chose to live the life that the so-called white man has paved out for you, and you embrace it. And a lot of you know that is often wicked, and you don't care. You just that goddamn rebellious. So therefore, because you're willingly rebellious, the Most High is going to put a heavy judgment on you. Okay, since you want to be willfully ignorant and you want to willingly rebel, because the scriptures say that Jake is a stiff-hearted people. You got people that know the truth and know the way to walk, but they choose to go left because they're offended in it. Well, you know what? I don't like that. I'm offended in it. I don't like the fact that you niggas gonna get you gonna be kings, and you know you're gonna have children and by different women. I don't like that. So therefore, I'm gonna just be a fucking person in the world and go out and sleep with different men and go to clubs and hang with ratchet ass bitches. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna eat pork. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna persecute the men of the Lord. I'm gonna go rob a liquor store, all because you mad because you can't get with the truth. We didn't write it, man. And that's a stupid ass mindset. And if you have that, you deserve exactly what's gonna happen to you. You know, that's why, hey, this is the good thing for you tribes, man, because you're gonna atone for your sins one way or another, and this is gonna be through Most High putting your ass to death. All right. So this is the book of our Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because he knows he have but a short time. So if this is not talking about great wrath, then I don't know what, man. Listen to what he just said again.
Satanic warrior type person.
Listen to what he said.
The apocalypse of the Antichrist and the apostasia of the word rebellion or revolt. That's all really defined in the prophecy of the red horse. But here's where the term came from and why I used it purposely. When I started dealing with ritually abused individuals, then we dealt with military-oriented, highly trained, programmed shooters and assassins inside of them. When we began to deal with them, I dealt with someone from Fort Bragg for quite a while and a few others. We're sitting in a lake, Conneaut Lake. They reached over and ripped open my shirt to see if I was wired, if I was wiring and recording them. And they were the most sophisticated satanic warrior type person. They knew 5-6 languages. They knew the ancient twilight languages. They knew how to conjure. They knew how to use Belteshazzar, Okwam, all these old Pictish languages of the Druids to summon. They are the real Luciferian. They've been through many human sacrificial things. So they sat there to tell me some of those things, what they've been involved with, how they sacrifice a human. I'm listening to all this stuff from them. And then they said to me, you have no idea, Russ, how many of us there are out there. How many satanic, they use the term, chosen ones. You have no idea how many. You have no idea what's coming. We smell Christian blood. We
smell Christian blood, man. So when these sleeper cells get activated in a city near you, you're gonna see exactly the wrath of the Heavenly Father, man. This time we coming into ain't no fucking joke, man. You know, I know we keep saying that and we can't do it justice, but this shit ain't no fucking joke. But you know what? When we get the power, them niggas, them think they're not gonna be able to do nothing with us, man. It's gonna be like taking candy from a baby. You know what I'm gonna call this lesson? The 144,000 versus billions of super soldiers, man. We gonna fuck them things up, and it's gonna be fun because we gonna be completely outnumbered. Cause ain't nothing for a leg man to do something with one of them super. That's easy work. Surround me, man. You know what I'm saying? Bring your best. Bring your top fucking gun, man. Put me in a circle, and let's see and watch the Lord work. Okay? Because remember, hey, didn't Samson slay 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass? So if you got 144,000 men, they each can put 1,000 men to flight easily. You do the math on that. We'll be able to take care of millions of them things, man, like that, and it's gonna be fun. We're going to be fighting in the air. We're going to be flying and shit, man. They got drone robots, bro. Raptor robots that can dodge bullets, man. And when I end the video, I'm going to play the clip that the brother did on his video yesterday to show you how serious it's going to get. So all you weightlifting jakes, man, you niggas that take pride in your MMA, and don't get it twisted. I love martial arts. I love MMA. I love working out. It's a beautiful thing. But for you six-pack Joes out there that think your weightlifting game is gonna get you through this day without the Spirit of the Lord, you're sadly mistaken. Okay? Because the scriptures say they'll exercise profit, but it profit little. This is about the Spirit. So yeah, man, let's have some fun, man, because this shit is boring. Look, man, let's up the ante. Okay? Because the Lord is gonna lift up a standard against this man, and it's gonna push him back. You like, oh shit. The men of the Lord are activated, man, and they know that. That's why they building stuff like that. Why are they building stuff like that for a bunch of minuscule people, for a bunch of trained soldiers, CIA operatives, you know, men of high skill, but yet you telling me you need a trained killer that can literally dodge bullets against an ordinary man? There's no comparison. So this man knows something that we don't know or we haven't figured out yet. That's why he said, hey, we smell Christian blood. They're watching us. They're watching this, man. Okay? But hey, let them come on with it. Bring it on. I'm ready to see the Lord work, man. I'm ready to see what we've been talking about is going to really manifest itself. Lord's will, we're chosen. And that's the spirit I'm in. Because the scriptures say, hey, be of good courage, man. You got to know when they surround your house, the Lord is going to send their ass flying up out of there, man. You got to know that, hey, the Lord is going to give you the power to take flight, to teleport, to disappear. Or you just gonna get put down in your living room, man. All right. So this is the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5, and I'm gonna start at verses 16. It says, therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand, for with his right hand he should cover them, and with his arm he should protect them, man. The Lord is gonna protect us in that day, brother. All right. And he should take to him his jealousy for complete armor. When you think of armor, you think of you in war, you think of battle mode. All right, to make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies, man. Come on, man. We gonna be the weapon out here. We gonna be the weapon. You think Esau's super soldiers? And look, the Lord gave him that shit. The Lord gave him that technology to make that. So if the Lord give this devil that on the left-hand side on carnal means, how much more on a spiritual elevated level, man? On some fourth dimensional shit. Come on, man. That's like taking a Terminator. That's like Terminator trying to fight Ultra Instinct Goku. You know how slow Terminator is? Yeah, he's calculative, he's strong, he's powerful, he's unstoppable. But you think he can do something with the Ultra Instinct Goku? With a Super Saiyan 3? With a Super Saiyan 4? What he's gonna do with something that can literally go inside you and explode you? He's just a machine at the end of the day. He can be destroyed. We're going to come from something immortal, because then the Lord said that he created us to be an image of his own immortality. So come on, brothers, man. Come on, man. Look, I'm getting excited talking about it, man. Because I ask the Lord all the time, and that's my only purpose in this world, is to be a battle axe. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with being a battle axe for the Lord, man. Hey, I want it. I want to be on the threshing floor, man. I want to be out there in the midst of the shit, man. Getting it in with brothers, man. I want to be right down the threshing floor, getting it in, man. Fucking shit up out here through the spirit. If that's my calling, then hey, I'm with that shit, bro. Hey, say less, Lord. Say less. Say less. I'm with it. Like my man say on House Party, man. Hey, nigga went to the trunk. He said, oh, whatever this is, I'm with it. He said, I'm with it. He said, hey, we gonna bust their ass and they come running out the burning house. He said, you got it, all right? He said, wait, burning house? He said, burning house. But hey, they was with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, they knew what they had to do. And we got to do what the hell we got to do. But first, we got to put this word first, man. And we got to focus on what we got to do. Because all the work we're doing is going to pay off, man. I pray the Lord, please, Baba Kushai, how about you, Abba Ratazah, Baba Kusha, man. You know, raise us up with the, you know, with the Rakayim Palayim, man. You know, with the spiritual power, man. You know what I'm saying? Salakinah Palayim Alahayim, man. The powers. I'm thinking of prayer, Palayim. But the powers, man. Going to Alahayim, man. Okay, the spirit Racha, man. You know, man, look, bro, we need it like water, and we gonna need it against this, because if we don't get that power, we're through. We ain't gonna be no different than the average Joe out here. They'll get kicked in. All of a sudden, they put a billion rounds into your ass, man. So you ain't nothing left of you. You know? And it says, and he should put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of a helmet, man. And what is true judgment? Destroying you niggas, man. And 2/3 of you gonna get judged by this, man. And a lot of you gonna get cleaned up by the men of the Lord too. You know? And it says that he should take holiness as for an invisible shield. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword. And the world should fight against the unwise, man. And the world should fight with him against the unwise. And that world is going into Israel, man. All right? So, anyway. So like I got some of my teeth. Anyway, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, because this really goes into it. This really breaks down everything. And I'm gonna say this too, you guys out there, you know, you jakes out there that just like to watch, you're able-bodied to teach, you talking about how you want to get spiritual power. The Lord ain't gonna give you nothing if you ain't working for him. That is like going to work. How you gonna get a paycheck? You ain't going to work. You claim you want to be part of the Lord's army. Then the scriptures say, seek ye first the kingdom of God, then everything should be bestowed into you. So if you ain't doing no work, you just sitting back watching videos for entertainment and it sounds good, you ain't gonna get no power, man. You're gonna become a casualty out here, or do something to support the ministry. But you sitting back not doing shit. You just watching, you comment on videos, and some of you may not be able to do because you may be up in age, and some of you just may not be prophets. But even then, if you believe in this truth, you gotta have a calling somewhere. Okay? If it ain't in you to do videos or whatever, then it may not be your lot, but you got to find your talent in this thing. Okay? Because, hey, this battle ain't for the weak. You see? So this is the book of Jeremiah 51:20. It says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. Okay? For with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. Man, that's going into this shit here. The chariot and his rider. Okay, because then the scriptures tell you that the Egyptians are men and their chariots are nothing but basically their flesh and blood, meaning that they can be destroyed. Okay, this is nothing but man creation. Yeah, they're hands, they AI operated, they can predict things, they can foresee shit, but the spirit of the Lord is above this right here. Okay, so this ain't nothing to fear. If you got the spirit of the Lord on you, you ain't gonna fear this. Now, first you may get pushed back by like, oh shit, what the fuck is that? Yeah, you may. But regardless of that, if you got the spirit of the Lord on you, like the Lord told Joshua, he said, look, be there of good courage. Say, be of good courage, man. Because we had to go take the land. We had to get our land. So we had to go to battle for it. He said, be of good courage and of good cheer. So we got to be of good courage, man. Because like I said, you see this walking down your street, yeah, your stomach may drop. Because that's a natural reaction of anxiety, yeah. But somewhere and somehow the spirit have to take over. Okay, the spirit have to take over. Eventually the spirit is going to take over. And let it operate in you, man. Let it control you. You see? And you just got to pray for the Lord for that courage, man. Okay? But it says, and I will break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee I will break in pieces the chariot and his rider. And with thee I will also break in pieces the man and woman. And with thee I will break in pieces old and young. And with thee I will break in pieces the young man and the maid, to show you that you women gonna get jacked up too. And I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock. And with thee I will break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke and oxen. And with thee I will break in pieces captains and rulers, man. Okay? And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, says the Lord. So, hey, man, a lot of this is going to take place on this side. Now, when we get the spiritual bodies and so forth, that's when we're going to truly be invincible. But even on this side, man, we're going to have capabilities that's going to be able to put these motherfuckers back in their place to some degree, you know. But a lot of this we going to end up going up against when we get them bodies too, with them spiritual bodies. A lot of this shit is just going to be deployed and just straight up killing you jakes. A lot of the men in the Lord are going to avoid those Terminators, man. But when we get them actual bodies, that's when we going to come head up with them. Because, hey, they ain't going to only be deployed in America. Remember, Esau have other hubs, okay? Look at this conglomerate. Look at the, when you look at the 7 heads and 10 horns, okay? When you look at NATO and the EU, all this is NATO operated, man, okay? And they have this technology. They look, the NATO troops are like pretty much the advanced military of Esau's system. They're even higher regard of the Navy SEALs in America. Okay, those are the elite troops. They trained the Ukrainian troops, and they getting their ass kicked by the Russians. But regardless of that, the NATO, man, they're highly skilled in war, so we can't take that lightly. All right, but regardless, man, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, he's gonna raise up a standard through us. And, hey, you devils, man, you the ones that need to be afraid. Okay. You the ones that need to be afraid because, hey, for the simple fact, the Lord ain't with you. You see, and this is Isaiah 31:3. It says, now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh. Okay, talking about their chariots, their tanks, you know, their technology, you know, the military men, the AI robots. That's all flesh, man. Meaning that it can be destroyed. Meaning it's of man's creation and not spirit. And when the Lord should stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that hopeth shall fall down, and they all shall fail together, man. Okay? So that's the point. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy this shit, you know? And it says here, but thus says the Lord, spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey. When a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he would not be afraid of their voices, nor abase himself for the noise of them. All the flipping and guns and blowing shit up and killing, man, we ain't gonna be afraid of that stuff, man. It says he would not be afraid of their voice nor abase himself to the noise of them. Meaning we ain't gonna cower it out. We ain't gonna lower it down to this shit. We gonna look it right in the face. I'm like, you know what? Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Baba Kusha, let the power come upon us. Like when they say Shazam, you know. But, you know, I'm just speaking as a man. But, you know, how the Lord is gonna do it is up to him. But it says, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So should the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. Okay, and that's the point. So don't worry, brothers, man. The Lord got us. But I'm gonna end it there. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And with that, shalom and the Baba Ball. Shalom.
I just have an angel.
I'm going to tell you something. This isn't exclusive.
And we're all ears, David.
One of the things he said to me that seems really hard to believe. He is the guy who invented the chip that goes into these androids that they have.
Okay, we know where this is going.
The movie The Terminator apparently was based on his technology. We do have 3 battalions of these androids.
Bam, there it is. So, first question, are they operated by people or are they actual AI?
And they do have electronic intelligence. This stuff is why we really need to be careful about artificial intelligence.
So true, my friend.
We have some stuff that looks incredibly awesome, incredibly futuristic. You would think it was alien technology.
And the truth is stranger than fiction.
They've always had disclosure plans in place as a weapon of mass distraction. That's when they dropped the bomb.
All right, here's part 2 with David Wilcock, Dark Technology on the Edge of Wonder.
Edge of Wonder.
I want to get clear with you guys and with the audience about the difference between the intel that I have been leaking faithfully since Pete Peterson started to give me this stuff from high levels back in 2009. Pete Peterson worked at a presidential level advising Ronald Reagan advising his cabinet on classified technology. He is the guy who invented the chip that goes into these androids that they have. It's an electronic intelligence. It's called the Aquarius. It's contained inside another piece of hardware called the Gatekeeper. His company was called Cyberdyne Systems, and the movie The Terminator apparently was based on his technology. He didn't build the Terminators per se, but he built the brain that goes inside. And it's based on a chip that uses photons in their wave-particle duality form, where you have all these different probable wave states, each of which becomes a circuit and a potential logic gate, as opposed to regular chips that treat electrons as either on or off. In this case, you can have one photon that's multiplexed across multiple thousands of different information channels. And so you have one little chip that could be as powerful as 10,000 desktop computers. And apparently when you get it that powerful, it kind of on its own develops this thing that they on the inside call electronic intelligence. So that's a big bombshell drop on you guys as well. Remember, in Terminator 2, you have a black scientist who invented the Terminators, basically, and then there's people trying to kill him to save the future, because if he lives, then this timeline where all these Terminators appear takes place. So, look, I'm not saying we should kill Pete Peterson. That's just a dramatic device that we're creating in this movie. But what I am saying is,
That you're John Connor.
from what I've heard from Pete, we do have 3 battalions of these androids. They are incredibly convincing looking. You could not tell that they are a robot. They look like a person, and they do have electronic intelligence. So those films, as weird as this sounds, in fact, there's a recent, the latest movie with Kevin Hart in, I'm forgetting what the title is right now, but it just came out. I think it's called Night School. He's got various people in the night school, and one of them is another black guy who, in the movie, says Terminator is a documentary. And they definitely got that from me. And so I want to give them a high five for working that into the movie in a comedy context.
Let me just say this, okay, while I got the platform. Me, I first got woke when I seen Terminator. I realized it wasn't just a movie. It was prophecy.
Wow, that's really interesting. I mean, so these, I don't want to use the word Terminators, but these like robots.
Can we please use I think we have to. We owe it to our audience.
Well, if you want to get technical, the actual term that Pete used for them is simulacra. That's what they apparently call them on the inside. You can go with Terminators if you want. I don't really care.
Well, what is it? The second one is a big bag.
Yeah.
So that's not so bad.
John Connor turned him back.
So, are these actually just walking around in our society, or are they just like strictly military, doing military operations or warfare?
Strictly military, and actually I can get a lot clearer on this. I forget how many soldiers are in a battalion. I think it might be 4,000 or 5,000. To Pete's knowledge and his briefings, we have 3 battalions of these simulacra, and they are only to be used in case of an alien invasion, which they do think could happen. They actually do have Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. They have very specific ethical guidelines preventing them from turning on the people of this planet. So those simulacra would only be used in a very high level emergency situation. But there's a lot more to the creative behind what's really going on than what you see in any of the Terminator films. For example, a simulacra is based on a core brain, and I've heard this now from, I guess, 4 or 5 different insiders, that there is a little black box about this big, and it's a cube, okay? And it actually has 2 eyes on it, which are on these little screws, and so the screws can twist and the eyes will either widen or narrow in terms of how far apart they are. So the robot can actually turn its head, take the box out of its own head, its brain, okay, pull it out, and then pop it into another chassis, another body. And some of these bodies are very intimidating looking. They have, for example, one thing that Pete told me about was they have this thing that looks like a raptor, like a dinosaur. It is all robotic. It's got red eyes, it's got metallic features with chrome and black. It looks incredibly fierce, it's incredibly badass. And these things would be very, very difficult for us to kill. Any of these robots move so fast that you could not shoot it, because it will move its body to get out of the way of a bullet as the bullet is coming near. It works so quickly that it can see the bullet coming and it will just and just dodge out of the way. But with the raptor beings in particular, that's a psychological intimidation factor. You're seeing this weird robotic dinosaur coming towards you. Now I'm going to tell you something. This isn't exclusive. I don't think I've ever shared this before. One of the things he said to me that seems really hard to believe, and I'll admit that, but this is just part of the briefings you get, is that he claims he saw a filmed demonstration in which one of these raptors was able to be running down, and they put out a 50-gallon metallic drum. It was empty inside. The raptor ran towards the 50-gallon drum, jumps up into the air, and is able to lift the drum up into the air and time the ascent of the drum and itself and get it spinning. And as it rises the drum up into the air and gets it spinning really fast, it takes its claws and it literally shredded the entire can all the way down to the bottom, so that all you get is this metallic spaghetti.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,